You're listening to BQN. Assimilate the audio. Here at the BQN Network, we support and express solidarity for all of the writers and actors that have brought us the stories we passionately speak about. We continue to show love to all that are fighting the good fight for the WGA, SAG-AFTRA, and any upcoming strikes. We stand with you.
Live long and prosper, and welcome to Infinite Diversity, a Star Trek Universe podcast here on the BQN Podcast Collective. I'm your host for today, Thad, and joining me is my co-host, Chrissy. How are you today?
Oopsie.
That was going to be my response.
Aw. Oh, look at all the bones. So how are you?
You know, I'm feeling a little boneless, spineless, maybe.
Ooh, yeah.
Also joining us today, because we're recording this like 5 minutes after the last episode, is BQN's own Jeremiah Brown, host of the Captain's Couch. How are you, Captain? I started to call you Captain. How are you?
Oh, you can call me Captain. I am great, Thad. I am happy to be back yet again, even though temporally wise, I never left.
All right, before we jump into our topic for the day, we'd like to take a moment to thank our Patreon patrons who make our show possible, particularly our associate producers Carl Wonders and Chrissie De Clerck-Szilagyi. Listeners, you can hear your name listed as one of our associate producers for a monthly subscription, just $10 at patreon.com/BQN. And with a monthly subscription, you can join our meetings of the Hive Mind whenever we do those. What's your Patreon messages for details? So, my first discussion here for this is, so we're now talking about episode 2 because they both dropped on the same day.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think they dropped 2 episodes?
Don't know.
At first, I thought it was going to be because they were doing the theatrical release, Lower Decks. I thought they were going to show those 2 episodes in theaters, so that's why they're also dropping them in home. But no, the theatrical one showed 3 previous episodes and episode 1, but did not show episode 2 of season 4. So why do we have a second episode this week?
You know, Thad, I thought the exact same thing you did and was really scratching my brain at that screening going, where's the second episode? Like, what's going on here? Why did we cut our Lower Decks trek short this season by doing 2 episodes on the same day? But then I remembered that in Strange New Worlds, we dropped 2 episodes in the same week this season.
Yes, we did.
Cutting the 10 weeks down to 9 weeks. The fact that we know that we are not getting Prodigy season 2 as originally promised, and Discovery's final season won't be till 2024. It's not like there is a rush to shore up these other 2 seasons in order to get the next show out.
Yeah, it seems odd to me that they would be doing this when we know with the strike they're going to be running out of programming to show soon. Mm-hmm. Why are they showing more than they need to?
I think the only reason we got the 2 episodes of Strange New Worlds in a week was because they lost people for, was it San Diego Comic-Con?
Yeah.
They needed something to fill a slot. So it made sense that they released it early. You know, I don't think they were actually planning on doing that ahead of time.
Yeah.
You know, before the strike. But this doesn't make sense to me at all.
The fact that they released the screener for that one like a couple days before it came out and said, hey, we're dropping this on Saturday, told me that was a pretty last minute decision.
Yes, it was, I think.
Yeah, so it's just odd that they would do this now, because it wasn't for another showing, it wasn't for anything else. They're just doing it. And now, like, it almost feels like sort of something Amazon does, because I don't know how many shows y'all watch on Amazon, but their streaming shows lately, they often will start with multiple episodes and then do one a week after that. Or sometimes this season, they'll do 2 episodes a week. They've been doing that with Wheel of Time for some reason. And they did that earlier this year with Carnival Row. They did 2 episodes every week. They were dropping 2 episodes until the season was done, which meant they were releasing the season in like 5 weeks instead of 10, which All right, I think Amazon is specifically doing that as like a streaming as like a compromise between binging and weekly releases.
I was gonna say, yeah.
But Paramount has always been doing weekly releases, except we got 2 episodes of Lower Decks, which seemed odd.
It does seem really odd because Paramount has to know after the everything going on with the strike that the minute that there is not new Star Trek content promised, their subscriptions are going to plummet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's not going to help with any of it.
No. Yeah. For the strike, I saw an interesting I saw an interesting thing just yesterday that apparently Warner Brothers has now lost more money due to the strike than the entire WGA deal that they didn't want to take.
And, and that goes to show how much this is not actually about the money.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's about the power dynamic and the idea of we're going to tell you what you're doing and how much you're being paid for it. And you're going to be grateful because, you have to eat and have an apartment.
Well, it's ridiculous to me the fact that they are doing what they're doing with this strike, considering that they're not hurting anybody but themselves, because without the writers and the actors, they have no product to peddle. So the fact that they are so resistant to give both unions what is rightfully deserved, they're going to destroy their own institutions with this. And somebody will come in and pick up the pieces and give both unions what they deserve and create an entirely new version of Hollywood in the process.
We can hope.
Yeah.
That would be very interesting. I can speak from talking to people like my father, who does not watch the same news as that I do, that there's a lot of blaming the strikers that's happening. And that always happens with this type of thing, but it's taking on an added layer because of the politics, particularly around Disney.
When you say your father doesn't watch the same news as you do, now I know what news you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And thankfully he's not watching Fox 24/7, but he definitely deals with, hangs around with people who do. But anyway, so you've got a lot of the public opinion about this among a large swath of the country, I think, is not based in reality. And I think that's going to become a problem, because I was talking to him the other day and he's like, well, Disney's losing all of this money. And I'm like, on what planet is Disney losing money?
Right.
Well, the last 2 movies, he said there was a thing, the last 2 or 3 movies they released didn't break even. And I don't even know if that's true, but I'm like, this is not Disney of 1957. Okay. We're talking about a company that the movies are barely even, a chunk of what they care about. They are not losing money. So, and if they are losing money, like directly in Florida, it's because of the politics, not because of the strike.
And they're not losing money in Florida either.
No, they're not. They're not.
I mean, but Disney is a, evil corporation at this point. They are not hurting financially.
No,
I mean, Disney is the Wayland Yutani of entertainment businesses.
Well, apparently the stockholders are not happy.
The stockholders aren't happy because of the strike.
Right.
Yeah, of course they're not happy. They want to masquerade the fact that, we can't afford to have another private jet or a third vacation home. How dare you ask for more money to write?
But I mean, also, if you ask me, the entire concept of, shareholders and businesses have to be businesses' entire raison d'etre is to make money for the shareholders is absurd and should not be a thing.
No, I wholly agree with you. I don't understand it.
That's a situation where businesses can make a profit, but it still doesn't count because they're not increasing the stock price, so therefore they're a failure. Yeah. And that is just so ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's the me generation in the 80s and Reaganomics, and because it used to be that companies made a product and that was the measure of success.
Yeah.
Disney's evil. They're not losing money. The strikers deserve to get what they have asked for and more.
I feel very conflicted about the fact that I keep rooting for Disney against certain politicians, but I also really don't like large evil corporations.
In that case, you are going for the lesser of two evils and the most effective at bringing about the worldview that will bring us to Star Trek.
Anyway, let's talk about I Have No Bones, Yet I Must Flee.
The wonderful title.
Yes, call back to Harlan Ellison. I have no mouth, but I must scream. Or Yet I Must Scream.
I did not catch that.
Yeah.
Okay. It felt like it was a callback to something, but I did not do my research as I ought to have. So cool.
Romulan ship. This is cool. I love seeing the Romulan lower decks.
I love the flipped ship, how Andy Probert's design was supposed to be for the Deridex class warbird. It was really cool to actually see that come to fruition.
I love the TNG Romulan aesthetic with like the purples and whatnot all over it's great.
Like
the overly neon 80s mall design of the interior of those ships.
Yes.
Feels like a 90s Taco Bell.
Yes. Yes, that too. Including the mess, right? Yeah. I mean, we all know that the Romulans, are an insidious race with some of their doings, but they really painted the picture of let's just, dismember a Reman for fun.
Yeah.
My favorite part of this whole thing was when the captain was like, let's destroy this ship so I can go back to being suspicious.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. It was a beautiful parody.
Yeah, we've still got this mystery ship out there destroying ships. Guessing this is going to keep building. We'll probably finally find out about it in episode 10.
Probably.
More than likely. I liked the debris. The last episode we saw the Klingon emblem on the hull, and then the captain's spear, or not the captain, the lower decker's spear that he had been sharpening. And then in this episode, as a direct continuation, that was the end of the previous one. In the beginning of this one, we see the Romulan ship destroyed, and again a section of the hull with the Romulan emblem, and then the captain's chair was floating in the debris.
Yeah. That was a nice touch.
Yeah. I'm enjoying this little mystery.
Meanwhile, on the Cerritos, we have Shax and Ransom in workout outfits. The ones that Deanna and Beverly wore on TNG.
Why not?
They were doing the same stretching exercise routine in front of a ridiculously oversized mirror.
That's a very 80s aesthetic, gym aesthetic.
My only complaint about that is that they are mirrored.
Yeah.
The outfits are switched from the image of the TNG. But yes.
Oh, I was going to say. Gotcha.
Like one outfit's on the other on the wrong side.
No, I got you.
Yeah. But it's amazing that they did the exact same stretches. That's cool.
Yeah.
And, I the reason I think that they mirrored it is because of the hilarity of Ransom's chest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and they wanted that to be the focal point.
Yeah, probably.
I didn't even think about that.
And then they're going for hot fudge sundaes after this.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
Because it's a cheat day.
Mm-hmm.
And chocolate being an homage back to Deanna.
Mm-hmm.
Troy, yeah. I see those, and I think of there was an episode of Golden Girls, one of their clip shows where they actually made the clips instead of them coming from other episodes, which I adore. And they were going to a gym, and Dorothy says something to the effect of, I look like a solid gold no, I look like the mother of a solid gold dancer. And that image has been memed with, the Troy and Crusher one so many times that I can't see one without thinking of the other.
I'm thinking ahead to next year's convention season, and if I don't see some Ransom and Shax cosplays in those workout outfits, I'm going to be severely disappointed.
I look forward to seeing that as well. I will not be doing that because no one needs to see me in spandex.
I won't be doing that either. I actually have a very special cosplay that nobody is going to get other than people that were there during the time of the conversation and Garrett Wong himself.
Wow, okay.
It is entirely Garrett inspired from a story he was telling about me to another fan. Huh. So it is going to be an inside joke, but it's going to be a hilarious inside joke.
All right.
Are you going to become the Garrett Wong tattoo guy?
No. So what it is Garrett was talking about how I seem to make back alley Ferengi deals and acquisitions when it comes to Star Trek props. And that one day he expects to see me at a convention with a trench coat flashing people illicitly obtained props.
Amazing.
Love that.
So, Mariner overhears Shax and Ransom talking about how Mariner will not be Ransom's problem for much longer.
Talk about eavesdropping, backfiring, and not taking things out of context, as we'll later learn.
Yes.
And like, I feel like as the viewers, we already know it's gotta be out of context based on the whole conversation last week.
Exactly. It was one of those that we as the audience member saw what was coming, but Mariner as a character is the one who took it out of context.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So yeah, they're moving to their new quarters. Rutherford doesn't get to join them, but he's gonna just be a really good engineer today and get a promotion.
Yes. I love his positivity.
Very much reminds me of the season 1 episode when he kept changing divisions so that he could do the thing with Tendi.
This feels like it's lining up for us to have a Tendiford relationship here.
I think so.
Because like she says, about how like I don't know how I'm gonna sleep without somebody muttering about what was it, the warp limit or something 6 feet away. Yeah. Which I'm not opposed to. So.
And he specifically says at the end of the episode that he had been turning down promotions because he wanted to stay close to her.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm still of two minds on Tendi Rutherford. On the one hand, we absolutely need more representation of platonic male-female friendships.
Absolutely, yes.
Shows, because it happens so rarely. But on the other hand, I totally ship them, and I want them to love each other and, make the beast with two backs and have a wonderful relationship. And
I agree.
Green babies.
Yes. I think, though, as long as there is no conflict that separates the two of them, whether it be platonically or romantically, I'll be happy keeping that relationship intact and positive between them.
Oh, yeah. And I think, there is no doubt in my mind that we are not going to see a Mariner-Boimler relationship, and I'm glad for that.
Want that.
I don't either. So that will remain a platonic, example.
If anything, if we find out at some point later in the show that Mariner and Ransom have been secretly, banging, I would not be surprised in the slightest.
I wouldn't either. In fact, I've thought that the Mariner bounces between Jin and Ransom and doesn't let either one of them know about the other.
Yeah. Well,
and because that goes back all the way to season 1 and 2, the Mariner Ransom chemistry. Oh yeah.
And what is it at the end of Those Old Scientists? She talks about he doesn't know what he's talking about because he sleeps on his face like a baby.
How does she know?
And then somebody says, "How do you know that?"
Also, babies don't sleep that way. That's how
they don't
die.
But okay, that's not funny, but the way it was said, yes. So I do think there's a little bit of fellow officers with benefits going on there.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, this whole episode, there is clearly...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ensign Gary, are you guys breaking up? Yeah, as co-workers.
It's like, I don't understand this dynamic, but I want to be left out of it.
Have we not all been there?
I can see a future episode of Freeman just losing her shit when she finds out that Ransom and Mariner have been banging.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
The first officer, taking it, you're my first officer and you're sleeping with my daughter.
Yeah. Well, and that goes back to his sputtering when she hands Mariner to him to discipline.
Yeah.
I'm only hard when she makes me hard. Yeah. So you can almost take it to that. Yeah.
He's like, I'm not hard. I mean, I'm not hard. I can get hard.
I'm as hard as you make me.
The fact that he says I can get hard is like, oh my.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. That's what we mean. Yep.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, and
yeah, I think that's true.
We had that episode like really early on in season 1 when they're imprisoned on that planet and Ransom has to fight the big monster,
which gets mentioned here.
Yeah,
and
there was definite sexual tension between them in that episode.
Oh too. Yeah, that was beautiful. So funny.
Yeah, so we have a classic menage.
The fact that they called it a menagerie was hilarious to me.
Yeah.
To me, I took that as an homage back to the original series episode, The Menagerie.
Oh, of course.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, humans are getting trapped in menageries all the time.
Yes.
And he says that he abides by Federation law. How? How is within the context
he's letting
of
the humans
Federation
out.
law? Well, yeah, but I mean, I guess Moopsie isn't sentient, so
yeah.
I would think that the Federation wouldn't. What's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the appropriate word, but they wouldn't believe in zoos at this point in time.
Yeah.
We're considering that they could recreate animals and their natural environments on the holodeck for people to experience. That Federation worlds wouldn't have zoos, and this would be outside the Federation. He's obviously, if that's the case, he would not be following Federation law because the Federation wouldn't subscribe to that.
I think I'm guessing there would certainly be certain civilizations in the Federation that wouldn't have zoos, but I don't know if it would be a blanket ban throughout the Federation. Certain cultures would probably still have them.
Oh, I don't think it would be a ban. I picture it as that the Federation necessarily wouldn't condone it for their own worlds.
Right.
Yeah. And he did say that everything in there was dangerous, so maybe that's the loophole.
Everything has to kill you in order for it to be kept as a pet.
But then he also admits he can't always tell the difference between non-botanical species, but other than himself, everything there appears to be non-botanical.
Yeah, there's a little bit of plant racism there, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Where did this banana species come from? I want to know more of his origins and people.
I think it's interesting that you thought he was a banana. I thought he was a corn, an ear of corn.
Oh, was he corn? Okay,
yeah. I don't know. But
he's got a tassel on top. Yeah.
Yeah.
He could be either, really.
I was honestly thinking he was a flower because it was tied at the top.
Oh.
So if he untied it, his petals would come down.
Oh, I love it.
Huh. We now must figure out what his species origins are.
Yeah.
Regardless of he's apparently ossified.
He is ossified, yep.
And see, I was thinking, and when the first time I saw him, I immediately thought back to that horrible 90s shows, Bananas in Pajamas.
They're coming down the stairs.
Yes.
Yep.
So that's why I thought he was a banana.
And that makes perfect sense. And now that you've said that, yeah.
So I was reminded of the TAS episode where they got abducted and put in a menagerie.
Well, yeah.
Well, and Voyager was abducted and put into a menagerie too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was less for the sake of them having a menagerie and more because the aliens wanted Voyager. But yes.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there definitely is a theme of humans being captured and put into zoos in Star Trek.
And that's why they call it a classic menage.
Yep.
It's a classic menage. Humans are always getting stuck in menageries. I think there was a missed opportunity here to have the plant man voiced by John Cleese because of the line from Monty Python, "Look at all the bones."
Yes.
He what did they say? He drinks your bones.
He drinks your bones.
Yeah. Because all I could think of is this is the rabbit. Yep.
Yeah, the fact that the Moopsie was more dangerous than the swamp gobblers. and you
Yeah.
look at their character design, and you're like, what is coming? And then they show you, it's like, oh shit, that
Hmm.
thing's serious.
Yeah, because I was like, oh look, Star Trek has a Pokemon, and then yep.
Someone tweeted out an image of the rabbit with the
Hmm.
caption "Moopsie."
The Moopsie of Konog. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we were talking about marketing last episode. Why am I not able to buy a Moopsie plushie 5 minutes after this dropped? Why?
Same reason you can't buy a Murph plushie.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
you
they're
can,
stupid.
but they're on the
Well,
black
okay.
market and they're expensive.
I'm sure.
I'm ashamed of what I paid for my Murph, but I had to have a Murph.
I thankfully had a friend who got one for me for free from New York Comic Con.
Ugh.
Nice. I tried, and I don't know what it was, but I could not get anybody to get me a Murph. I'm like, don't you people ever ask me to bring you anything?
Yeah, it's the same reason why they still don't sell the beanie that Spock wore on Strange New Worlds this season. They are terrible at
Yeah.
this. And the same reason why they are selling $150 gym bags
And
Yep.
$15,000 Starship models.
and $60 sweatshirts.
And workout shorts.
Yeah,
Don't forget the
workout
$60
shorts are even
workout shorts and the
more
$60
outrageous than the sweatshirts.
popcorn bowl.
Oh my god, I forgot about the $60 popcorn bowl. Yes.
The popcorn bowl and the shorts are the same price.
To be fair, they probably don't sell the popcorn bowl anymore because that was a Prodigy thing.
Oh, true. But yeah, it's still outrageous.
Yes.
But I mean, like, thinking back on this, I mean, maybe I've compressed time here, but I feel like they had the disco shirt available for purchase the day after we saw it.
Yes, they did.
They did,
Yeah.
because
it was even they
right,
and
same.
they did the same thing with the updated Command training disco shirt too.
Yeah. So it's like,
But then
where's that person?
They haven't done that since. And when the Ritos, we did finally get a Rito shirt, but it was a couple months later after people kept begging them for it.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that they have missed the ball on the fact that you've now established this in canon that there are these shirts for the crew. Where's my Enterprise? Where's my Voyager? Where's my Defiant?
Yeah.
Like, I would buy every one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I do love there's the meme that went around after the disco shirt first appeared. It was just Kirk sitting in the captain's chair with a shirt that said "Enter."
Yeah.
I think they would go with Prize.
I never saw that. I think they would go with Prize, yeah. But and Voyager would be Voy, of course.
It would. I would even see Voyager just being V'ger as a subtle wink and a nod to the V'ger probe.
Yeah.
Or Jaeger. Jaeger could be cool too.
Yeah. Defiant would be. I don't know what the.
I have a friend who actually made a custom shirt that just says Fiant on it.
Fiant. I like that.
Fiant. Yeah.
Although my absolute favorite custom Star Trek shirt like that is somebody made a shirt that says the Deep Space Nine is landing.
I'm gonna have I need a custom shirt. I need to have one made that just says "Computer, delete the wife."
Yeah.
I'm surprised that doesn't exist already.
You know, it doesn't, because I looked high and low for it before STLV this year, and I came up with nothing.
I bet it has existed and been shut down.
More than likely.
I made for myself a shirt that says it would seem hijinks are the most logical course of action.
Yes.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, why don't we have a Moopsie? Moopsie is adorable. Since I've seen this episode, I just will randomly sometimes just go, Moopsie.
Moopsie.
I've had several text messages of people sending me Moopsie. That's just the whole message. Yeah. And in fact, I didn't watch this episode till last night for the first time. And I've been getting these messages since Friday, and I'm like, what the hell are you people talking about? Like, I didn't even respond to their message because I didn't even know. I had no context for it. And
how am I supposed to respond to this?
Right. Like, I don't know how to respond to this. So I just ignored it. And then it wasn't until last night I started replying, and I'm like, okay, I get it now.
Moopsie.
Moopsie. How are they spelling it? Because apparently there's a great debate over that.
There should be no debate, though, because the subtitles.
Yeah, it was. I got the first one, or the last one I got was Moopsy.
Yeah, and that's how it is in the subtitles in the episode. So that's the correct spelling.
And then the other one that I got was M-O, yeah, same. No, they spelled it Moopsie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that is incorrect.
Yeah, I didn't even watch the subtitles, but I would have agreed with just the Y and not the IE.
So, like, I can certainly understand someone not necessarily knowing how to spell it, but are people actually arguing about the spelling?
I saw it was on the website formerly known as Twitter, so I guess that's just an argument, place. But yes, there were some people who were discussing that. So, to Anna and Shax, because we were talking about the workout clothes.
Yeah.
How are we feeling about that relationship dynamic? Because
it's kinky. I love it. It's filthy.
As long Shax seems to be fine with it, so yeah. I mean,
is he?
If he's not, he can leave. I mean, it's not a. I know you're giving me that look, but
yes, I know.
I know, and I know exactly what you mean by that. But he is not in a situation where he cannot leave.
From a physical and financial and economic and life,
right,
standpoint, but maybe not from an emotional standpoint.
Yeah, okay.
I will never forget STLV of 2022. My friend Paul from over in the UK did a Shax cosplay with a Tiana that was made when what was the episode where they're hooking up, and she's
it was the
I excretus.
Yeah,
yes, okay. So you know what I'm talking about.
I've seen the photos of that cosplay.
Yeah, that is my friend Paul. And I every time I see Shax and Tiana together, I immediately think back to that cosplay, which was so brilliant.
Naked time.
Yes. The fact that they get up to some dirty shenanigans in a holodeck, I love that Lower Decks goes there. I have a friend that apparently was the only Trekkie in the known quadrant that did not know that's what holodecks were used for, and was mortified when Lower Decks brought that up. I'm like, seriously? Even Janeway got down and dirty on the holodeck.
Had he not ever seen Deep Space Nine?
I mean, right? The holodecks.
I mean, I know they're hollow suites, but
Vulcan love
still.
slave, yeah.
Vulcan love slave, Umaks for pleasure and profit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well,
I mean, obviously, that's what a holodeck is going to get. I mean, they're going to use for many things, but duh.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same way VHS players became popular so that you could rent movies, but also so that you could watch porn.
So you could rent movies.
And that's what the internet became used for.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The internet was built by Star Trek and porn.
I will admit that if I had a holodeck, I would absolutely use it for that.
Yep.
Hmm? Yeah, I can't imagine anybody not at least once.
Exactly.
Right.
Maybe if you're like,
I bet Billups doesn't, but
no. Well, Billups has a very good reason not to.
But would that be a loophole for Billups? Would it count?
It would be
if it was holographic. Because
that's a good question.
Because Tom Paris brings up in Voyager that it doesn't count if it's a hologram, and Tuvok counters. Is that what you tell your wife?
I feel like Tuvok's wife would understand, though.
Well, and he inevitably
and he eventually comes to that conclusion. But it's like Tuvok's wife, also being Vulcan, understands that it's bang or die every 7 years.
Yeah.
I mean,
yep, it would only be logical.
Context.
Yeah, I imagine that the level of debauchery that would ramp up to would make a Klingon shy away for fear.
Mm-hmm. It would be too much for a Ferengi.
Yeah, humans are terrible.
They would make a Ferengi blush with sin.
Yeah. Just like Ensign Gary says, humans are terrible.
I really like at the end when they find out that the humans were behind the whole thing, and Ensign Gary's just like, oh no.
Yes.
Or damn it, or something like that. Yeah.
And of course the humans are behind it.
Yeah.
And if you are looking closely, you'll see the panel was upside down the whole time. So
Yes.
the foreshadowing is there.
It was right there.
Yep.
All right, so let's talk about the Moopsie and the Moopsie incident, shall we say?
Moopsie incident.
It drinks your bones. I mean,
It drinks your bones, yeah.
It sure does.
I'd like to know where. I'd like to have been in the writer's room as they are developing the Moopsie.
Yes.
I mean, I imagine that somebody came up with the concept of this cute, cuddly looking creature. We're going to give it a ridiculous name. And then somebody's like, oh my God, what if it drinks your bones?
Yeah.
Like, that's how I'm picturing this being broken.
Probably.
Yeah, they probably had the idea of it's going to be, violent and the one you least expect to be violent, but drinks your bones.
Oopsie.
Oopsie.
At least the swamp gobblers, they only gobble you. The Moopsie will drink your bones.
I'm not sure that makes it better than like the swamp gobblers are still going to eat you.
Yeah.
I feel like the Moopsie is worse. It's going to be like Jurassic Park with the velociraptors and Grant with the kid. And you're still alive when they begin to eat you.
Yeah. Well, I think that, the swamp gobblers would probably only gobble you out of necessity of hunger, where it looked like the Moopsie was just insatiable. And if there were bones, it would eat you regardless.
Yeah, Moopsie had bone lust. Yes.
Yeah.
But Moopsie is adorable, and I would let it eat my bones.
I don't think I go that far. But, get a plushie.
I'm thinking the plushie has to have some kind of mouth action where you squeeze it and its mouth gapes open with teeth.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
Which, speaking of that, why do we not have attack tribbles?
We did actually get those weird mirror universe tribbles.
We did.
Which I didn't like, but yes.
I don't remember seeing those.
I have one.
They're like black and red, and they have fangs.
I'm gonna start talking about the mirror universe here, and we're never gonna get done, so I'll stop. But
speaking of mirror universe, I could swing this back around to this episode.
Oh yeah, I want to talk about this.
Those action figures, right? I mean, tell me that Boimler does not collect X06 figures, because that's exactly what those were.
Oh, absolutely. But my problem with this is he should have no idea that Mirror Archer wore a green wraparound.
Agreed. He should have absolutely no idea about that.
Well, yeah.
Because that happened entirely in the Mirror Universe. Like,
did the Defiant never came back to the Prime Universe either, did it? No.
It got destroyed.
No, but we had...
I think.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it didn't. Yeah. No, it didn't. Never mind. It was still there because they were going to go try and find it in Discovery, but it was still in the Mirror Universe, yeah.
So I guess at some point it could come back to the main universe, and that's how Boimler knows. That's just pure conjecture, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just assuming he watched in the mirror darkly, but But no, it just doesn't seem... It took me out of it for a sec, because I was just like, wait a second.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I didn't even... I noticed it, that, oh yeah, he's wearing the green wraparound, but I didn't even consider the fact that Boimler should have no knowledge of that.
Oh boy, Mirror Archer, we're going to see our new room.
And how did a Starfleet officer not know about the control panel to change the...
Because it's Boimler.
Refraction.
More importantly, where the heck is that room? Yeah. The Cerritos doesn't have any part of the hull that can get that angle on the south.
Maybe, going back to the Mirror Universe thing, we don't know if Emperor Giorgio wrote any, alternate histories explaining... I could totally see her writing, a history/memoir.
Okay.
Yeah. And then if she knew about that. But that is equally a long shot.
Yeah, that seems like a strange thing that Giorgio would have knowledge of, let alone write in a book, of the fact that Archer wore a green wraparound tunic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless there's a photo that she brought with her somehow.
in that.
Well, it's possible.
Giorgio keeps a photo of Mirror Archer in her wallet because she just thought he was the best. I don't know.
It could be.
Okay,
it could
maybe
be.
not.
I mean, stranger things have happened.
Yeah.
I would think if she looked up to anyone in that situation, it would have been Hoshi Sato.
And yes, that's absolutely the case. Well, anyway, yeah, I love the action figures. I love that he doesn't understand the window. I love that he ends up in a Jeffries tube with all of his stuff. It doesn't occur to him to leave his stuff in the room and just go sleep in the Jeffries tube on his own.
Or just go sleep in the holodeck.
Or just go sleep in his old bunk.
Yeah. The old orange slab.
Yeah.
Or sleep literally anywhere. But yes.
Mm-hmm.
And Rutherford comes by and he's, still working on trying to do efficiencies, but that other motivated ensign was already here. And I love that they're both doing super weird things. And Boimler's just like, dinner later? And Rutherford's like, sure.
Yeah. Weird is our business.
Well, not only are they both doing weird things, but they're both like super annoyed about things at the moment, but they're still like, yeah, dinner later.
Yeah, we gotta eat.
Gotta have chips.
Gotta eat. You can vent to your friend about the thing that's annoying you. Yeah.
That's one of the things I love about Lower Decks is it's kind of some of the stuff missing in some of the newer shows, not all of them, but some of them, of the camaraderie that develops between the characters.
Yeah.
I think Strange New Worlds really shows that well.
They do.
Mm-hmm.
And like Discovery did that a little bit. They had the one episode where they were all having family dinner that didn't turn out so well. But
yeah. Well, they tried.
Right.
So yeah, yes. I figured Moopsy was gonna kill Narj from as soon as we found out that Moopsy was a killer. I figured Moopsy was gonna kill Narj.
Oh, that was a surprise to me.
I expected it to be the new ensign that just showed up.
Oh, I also thought Moopsy would kill Ensign Gary. Yes.
Yeah.
So I was a little surprised that he survived, but yeah.
I think it's interesting. We've been introduced to two equivalents to our main characters, and I'm wondering if we're going to get an episode or part of an episode that mirrors, because we've got an engineer, we've got somebody who's command track. Do they have a friend who is also, sciences?
Oh, these are the new Lower Deckers.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Interesting. It's a good point.
I do like how Rutherford and the other guy, I forget the other engineer's name. Livick.
With a V? Oh, it has a V.
Livick,
yeah.
And he says it reminded me of Seinfeld. Newman.
Yes.
Yep.
Hello, Livick.
Intended.
So yeah, I enjoy the creative solution to Moopsy where we lose all of Ransom's teeth.
Having been suffering from a weird toothache since last weekend up until this very moment, actually. My jaw has been, swelling up and swelling down for the last week. It made me cringe when I watched Mariner knocking out. I'm like, no, Oh my God, anything but that. I mean, cut a finger off and serve the finger bone, but not the teeth.
I mean, if they're all gone, they don't hurt.
That's true.
That's true.
I definitely hope that we don't get giant teeth Ransom after this episode, though.
Yeah, I was hoping that was just, they were swollen because they were new. And
it better be, because that's creepy.
Yeah. That's creepier than even Spock's smile.
Yeah, the Spock smile always reminds me of Christina Ricci smiling in Addams Family Values, and Mercedes McNabb's character going, "Gary, she's scaring me." I'm like, oh my God, he's scary.
When Mariner gets the Moopsy back into its cage, and then Ransom and Gary stabilize the orbit. What's that coming?
Beautiful.
Only Mariner could get away with saying that to a superior officer.
Yes.
Yeah. And particularly now, she knows that Ransom isn't going to be taking the bait. So being the person she is, she's going to push further, even though
Yeah.
she has realized what's going on here, you know?
Yes, absolutely. But I do love at the end when she and Ransom are talking, and Ransom's like, well, maybe you could try actually. I don't remember the exact line of dialogue, but he's like, maybe you could try actually, you know, doing your job right. She's like, yeah, maybe that would be interesting.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Now I'm
I
sure
did too.
she'll still be very much be Mariner, but
Yeah.
I think we're gonna see a little bit of a more mature Mariner from here on out.
Yeah, I hope so.
It's I really like so far the trajectory we're on for this season. Last season didn't quite hit well with me. It wasn't bad, but I didn't think it was as great as 1 and 2 had been.
Mhm.
So far this year, I'm really loving it.
Yeah. Yeah. This is definitely going to be a good season, I think, if these 2 episodes are any indication.
And I always love Lower Decks. But yeah, I like that we're actually seeing growth with the characters. They're all lieutenants now. They're no longer sleeping in the hallway. Well, you know, we get to Lower Decks season 10. They'll each be captain of their own ship.
Aw.
But they'll be they'll be the most insignificant ships in Starfleet.
Or actually,
just like the Cerritos.
Maybe it's none of the other ones want to be a captain. Only Tendi does. So like Lower Decks season 10, it'll be like Captain Tendi with First Officer Mariner or whatever.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
I like that.
But Boimler wants to be a captain though.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So did Riker.
True.
So
yeah, maybe Boimler will just be afraid to take the big chair at the end.
I could absolutely see Boimler being afraid to take the big chair.
Oh God, yes. Yeah. So maybe he'll be first officer forever. Anyway.
I feel like we've talked about most everything. It's just a little weird because, you know, doing 2 episodes in a row, I'm
bouncing around,
bouncing around, and I feel like I've run out of Lower Decks steam at this point.
Well, we didn't mention the Billups tubes and the Tucker tubes. And so
oh
yes.
I love that Billups says he doesn't even know what to use them for.
Yeah, I don't even know we have these. Yeah,
best part.
Yes.
Yeah, because those tubes first appeared in Star Trek 2 and have shown up as background props in so many things. Yeah.
Yes. I think they're in Airplane too.
Are they?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm on the Memory Alpha article for Tucker Tube, which of course has already been named Tucker Tube. And yeah, they were originally made for the Incredible Hulk show. And was the original description was dual generators with rotating neon lights inside an acrylic tube, light controlled panel with knobs and buttons.
Yep.
But yeah, their first appearance in Star Trek was in Star Trek 2, and since then they've appeared in TNG, Voyager, and Enterprise.
And they are in Airplane. I just looked it up.
Nice.
Because that's the one that Shatner's in. Yeah.
They've been in something else too that I've seen them in.
They've been in a lot of things. Yeah.
It's like Vasquez Rocks. They've been in so many things, it's hard to keep track of how many times you've seen them.
Yeah. Yeah. And then my other favorite thing was, wait, I can just ask for stuff I deserve? Because haven't we all felt that way?
Exactly.
All right. So, yeah, we had Tucker Tubes. We got, yep. All right. Did we miss anything else that we need to cover?
I don't think so. I'm sure we did. We'll hear about it.
But... yeah. Someone can tell us. Any final thoughts on this episode?
I thought it was a great episode. A lot of fun. It's some interesting insight into Mariner's character as well as Jack's. I think that's kind of given a little bit more depth to both of them. She's not just a rule breaker. He's not just a meathead, which is something I'm definitely wanting to see in Ransom as we progress through the series. I think we're off to a great start for season more, and it just has me that much more hungry for the bones of Lower Decks.
Nice. Very nice. I bring us more.
Thankfully, we have 8 more episodes.
Yeah, we do.
Well, we'll be back next week to talk about more Lower Decks.
Yes,
in the meantime, thank you so much for joining us for the discussion today. Jeremiah, where can listeners find you online in case they didn't listen to the last episode?
Thank you so much for having me. This has been an absolute pleasure. You can find my personal feed over on Twitter or X at Captain Jeremiah. You can also find my show, The Captain's Couch, on Twitter/X at Captains_Couch. And if you are into some Star Trek stop motion animation, you can follow me on TikTok at Captain Jeremiah Brown.
Chrissy, where can people find you when you're not sucking out people's bones?
Ooh, I'm not even going to touch that double entendre. In addition, here on Infinite Diversity, you can find me on History with the Szilagys here on the BQN. That's that twice weekly short history podcast I do with my fellow historian husband, Jason. Also happy to chat about our shows in the BQN Collective on Facebook. And I'm on Twitter and Blue Sky as the Goddess Livia. That's TheGoddessLivia. And there I post about Star Trek history and leftist politics. Thad, where can people find you when you're not seeking a promotion that you should have had years ago?
Best place to find me is probably also on the website formerly known as Twitter. I am also on Blue Sky and Mastodon and technically on Threads, but I don't use it. At Tyrannicus, that's Tyranicus. You can also hear me on the podcast I do with my friend Carl called Licensed Spiel, where we talk about James Bond and James Bond adjacent things, and that's licensed spelled with a C like the British do it.
And don't forget about all the rest of our great shows on the BQN, and here's Amy Nelson to tell you all about it.
What shows are on BQN, you ask? Well, here's a rundown of some podcasts you might be interested in. All Good Things, a Star Trek Universe podcast covering all of Trek, hosted by Amy, Mark, Christos, and Kelvin. Bargain Bin Gamer, a YouTube show hosted by Davey, a self-proclaimed gamer who specializes in reviewing and showcasing affordable video games. If you're lost in the Delta Quadrant, check out The Captain's Couch, a Star Trek Voyager podcast hosted by Jeremiah sitting on Janeway's Ready Room couch. Cinema Z, a film discussion and review podcast showcasing films you probably missed but should definitely check out, hosted by Mark, Matt, and Laz. Beam Aboard the Galaxy Class, a Star Trek Next Generation podcast covering all of TNG, hosted by Amy, Joe, Rhea, and Kevin. History with the Szilagys, a snippet of historical events from around the world, hosted by Chrissy and Jason. For the newest Trek coverage, check out Infinite Diversity, hosted by Chrissy and Thad. Test your Trek knowledge with Trexperts Quiz, a Star Trek quiz show hosted and written by Davey. Union Federation, covering all things Star Trek and the Orville, which we all know is really a Star Trek show, hosted by Kyle, Kevin, Amy, and Haley. Spill the Tea with What's the Tea, Bev? A Trek current events and fan interview show hosted by Christos. And for our Patreon members, we have The Hive Mind, BQN's monthly roundtable discussion with hosts and listeners. It's Green, a cornucopia of topics hosted by Mark. And Amy's Math Moments, a quick look at math moments in Star Trek, hosted by Amy. We know you have a choice of podcasts to choose from, and we thank you for listening to BQN. Assimilate the audio.
Thank you very much for tuning into Infinite Diversity. Thank you to Zach Tripp for the wonderful theme music and Mark White for the awesome show art. Please subscribe in your favorite podcast player, and don't forget to rate and review us there as well.
And if you'd like to reach out, you can find the network on the website formerly known as Twitter at BQN Podcast, or our show specifically at IDIC Podcast. We're set up on Blue Sky with those two now. You can talk about any and all of the BQN podcasts in our Facebook group, the BQN Collective. And when you next hear from us, we'll be talking about episode 3 of Lower Deck Season 4, In the Cradle of Vexilon. Until then, we bid you peace and long life.
And Jeremiah's quiet here because, as we all know, he's a huge Trump supporter.
Oh God, no.
Him and Robert Beltran, right?
I'd rather join the Dominion.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, I was 99% sure that I was safe in making that joke.
I'd rather join the Dominion. I love it because I'm trying to think of a way that the Dominion would be better. Would have a positive impact.
They're actually efficient at leadership. Not, the kind of leadership that I want, but they're good at it.
It's true. The Capuzzi-De Clerck flows regularly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank the gods that
trains run on
the
time.
other side is not efficient.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of spelling, this reminds me of one of the last times I moved, and my buddy who was helping me goes, "What's wrong with you? You cannot spell simple words like lettuce and tomorrow." But he's looking at boxes and he's like, "You've perfectly spelled words like uhura and Ferengi."
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can spell words that are important. He's like, of all words, you can't spell lettuce, but you know how to spell Ferengi. I'm like, yep.
Ferengi. Duh.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Who doesn't know how to spell Ferengi?
I mean, it's what you use most. I would certainly say that I write the word Ferengi more often than I do lettuce.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, no question.
Yeah. No, my phone, my auto predict knows Ferengi, it knows Cardassian, it knows Terok Nor. If it's Star Trek, it knows it, but other words.
My favorite thing about my autocorrect is that anytime I use the word star, it will just automatically capitalize it because it assumes.
Yep. So the main thing is does your auto predict on your phone and email autocorrect January to Janeway every time?
I don't have that.
There's something that it turns into Romulan. I forget what. But there's something that, anytime I try to write it, it turns it into Romulan.
That's awesome.
That is.